All right, hello again. I am just going to talk a little bit more about, well, talk more about the troop presence in Washington, D.C., and just kind of some of the oddities that have gone on with that. And it's kind of interesting. Obviously, the troops have been in Washington, D.C. since January, I believe around January 8th or something like that, and they've just kind of been in place ever since the riot or insurrection or rebellion, whatever you want to call it, happened in D.C. on January 6th of this year. But the troops were sort of put in place to kind of safeguard the inauguration and things like that. However, Congress officially authorized them to be there until mid March, and obviously it's mid March, and many of the troops are still there, and so I think it is something that is a little bit frightening, to say the least. However, we have to understand that I think this is kind of a power play by um, the elites and special interests, mostly the military and defense contractors, to kind of flex their muscles and say that you need us to protect you from the hordes and mobs of people out there. And I think that is something that is kind of alarming, that we just have this continuing presence of soldiers in the Capitol, and it's really no clear reason why they are there, other than the fact that Congress thinks that they need them. And so I think going and looking deeper into some of the causes of this growing militarism in the United States, I think is quite alarming. And you have to look at the fact that this militarism is followed by institutional corruption, personal corruption, nepotism, and the other lack of virtue or principles that the the leaders in Congress and our government have, is that they're supposed to be one of us, not you know this separate aristocracy that lives in a distant capital that rules and reigns over this far distant and diverse uh, country. They're supposed to be just regular American citizens. However, these politicians have, I feel, taken upon themselves to inject um, a very dangerous ideology into the military, and it is something that is very dangerous, that you're seeing many people who would otherwise speak up being silenced, and saying that this is somehow normal when it's not. And so I think we have to be ever vigilant of these encroachments on our freedoms, but we also have to be very insightful and aware that they are um, protecting themselves from something. I don't know if it's something that's inherently corrupt or wrong or unethical, but it is something that they're trying to shield themselves from, passing laws that maybe the vast majority of Americans don't support. And so we have to just kind of be alert and aware of these things. And so hopefully we can get a better handle on them.